happy Monday. I'm super excited to be here. This is the fourth time I've tried to start this video. I've had some technical difficulties, but I think I've gotten them solved. Happy Monday, everyone. I wanted to share with you, I was inspired to share with you to really talk about money because I've had some really interesting conversations as of late about money and what it means. And I want to get super real with you about money, especially women in money, and especially spiritual women and money, spiritual people in general. There's this huge block and this huge disconnect between being a spiritual person and doing work that is healing and awakening and receiving money for that. And so I want to get down to the nitty gritty, and I'm just going to say it. Money has been used against the spiritual people, and it's been used against women to keep you in your powerlessness, right? Spiritual people have been literally taught to repel money, to not want money. They've been taught all of these egregious beliefs around money and how bad money is and how it keeps you from your spiritual growth. And women have been, women still make less than men. White women make about 22 cents less on the dollar than men do, and women of color, that goes down and down and down, and women are charged more for services and products and such. So truly, money is being withheld from women and from spiritual people for good reason. Not good reason that I believe in, but for the belief system that it is being held from. Money is where the deepest root of powerlessness is, right? I work with women around the globe for 2 decades on different areas, and money is like the last frontier. It is truly the last frontier that we reclaim our power back from. Okay? Look at your life. Are your decisions based on, do you allow money to make your decisions? Do you make your decisions on what you do, what you buy, the experiences you have, the people you work with based on money? If you do, if you said yes to any of that, which if for the majority of people, you have to say yes, because you look at your bank account and you say, can I afford this? Right? Can I afford this? And that's how your decision is made, is whether the money is in the account or not. Money is also it is like a barrier between you and what you want, the experiences you want to have. Not because it should be a barrier, but because you've been conditioned and programmed to believe that it is a barrier. It's the one thing that stands between you and the life that you want, the results that you want, the circumstances that you want. And it's the last frontier because it is widely accepted, right? You can say, oh, I can't afford that right now, and it'll ripple out to everyone you know, and everybody goes, yeah, I get it, I know, right? It's this disconnect between you and money, that it's the one thing you really can't control. The economy controls it. The availability of work for you controls it. Your ability to attract clients controls it. So it is truly, like I said, the last frontier of flipping the belief around your power with money, because I help women become empowered. And one of the biggest steps to step into that power is to pull your power back from money, pull it out of money, because we abdicate our power to money. I want to give you an example. Several years ago, I was going to my first event for a coach, right? I found a coach online. He was speaking my language, and I intuitively knew. I was like, I have to go see this guy. I started implementing some of the things he just had on free videos like this, and I doubled my income. In like 6 weeks, I doubled my monthly income just by doing the things that he said. And so I had brought this money in. He was having an event in Florida, and I couldn't use the excuse that I didn't have the money to go to that event, which had been my excuse for a long time. Like, I can't afford that. You know, I've been an entrepreneur for 20 some years. I've been a single mother entrepreneur for 14 years with 3 kids. And so my income had never been like reliable. It's not that regular check coming in once or twice a month. And I was really tired of the roller coaster. And so I found this guy, and I implemented some of the things he said, and I doubled my income. And so I wanted to go to his event in Florida, and I had the money. So I was looking at airline tickets, and I'll tell you what happened is what was revealed to me, because for all of my life, I had believed that what was stopping me was money, lack of it, that I didn't make enough, that I couldn't afford to hire a coach, I couldn't afford to travel, I couldn't afford to get the training, right? What was stopping me was money. And so here I was, I decided, it's like, I have to go to this event. I want to go to this event. And I had the money because I had doubled my income, right? And so as I was booking my airfare, booking my hotel, all of the underlying fears that I hadn't experienced in the past began to bubble up, because what I discovered was that the money was just the surface excuse. But when we got below that, there were the deeper fears, right? Like, what kind of mom? Hey, Marion, what kind of mom leaves her kids behind while she travels to an event, right? So there was that fear of being a bad mom, that I was doing something I shouldn't do. There was the fear of, I was booking my own airline tickets, and I had rarely done that. And maybe that was my first time, I don't know. And I was so afraid to like put in the wrong dates or get the wrong seats or the wrong times. I was so scared of all of it. So I'm sharing this with you to help you understand that the excuse of money, that I can't afford this or that, was hiding the underlying fears and the underlying self-worth that I was not even aware of, because I had stopped at money. So I took that trip, right? And my life changed ever since, right? I had new awareness around myself. I understood the power of hiring a coach. I hired my first coach after that cost me $1,200 per month, which was absolutely all of my living expenses at the time, because I had downsized so much to fit into my income at the time. So I hired my first coach at $1,200 a month for 12 months. I told nobody about it, because I knew that none of my friends, none of my family, even my closest family, would not understand that. They would be so mad, and they would judge me as being irresponsible, when really it was the exact thing I needed to do to take my business to the next level, to take my mindset to the next level. And what I discovered was that I had given money all of my power. Money was my master. And that's an accepted experience in our culture, because you hear it all the time. Oh, I didn't have the money for that. I didn't have the money for that. And what shifted in me was understanding that we abdicate our power to money, and it's perfectly acceptable, but it's not how you create the life that you want. Money is truly our last frontier. We may claim our power over our wisdom, our education, our relationships. We may claim our power over that, but money seems to be that last frontier, because we've given it its own personality, its own power in so many ways. And we see, biblically it says, serve no gods before me. But if your heart is calling to have an experience or create something or do something, your intuition is saying, yes, 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 I want this, but then you don't go for it because of money, then you have made money your God in a very negative way. It is the absolute thing that you never wanted to do. But if you're allowing money to stand between you and what your heart is calling you to do, then you have abdicated your power. And so I talked about this last Wednesday from Puerto Rico, is how to pull your power back from circumstances. And I want you to use this tool right here, is by pulling your power out of it. I know at the end of 2016, I was faced with an opportunity that I wanted to bless a loved one with an experience. And they wanted to have this experience. And the only thing from between me and blessing my loved one with that experience was money. And in that moment, I remember the moment. I remember it was in November of 2016. I was standing in front of my mirror doing my hair, contemplating this. And I was just like, I am absolutely fucking sick of this. I am sick of money making my decisions, and I call it now. I call it now. Money is no longer making my decisions. And I made a decision to get that gift for the loved one that I wanted to get. I called the person, I set it up, and I decided that I would do whatever it took to make the money that I needed to make in order to have that experience as the giver myself and allow my loved one to have the experience that she wanted as well. So I invite you, and what I essentially did is I made a decision. Money doesn't get in my way anymore. When I want something, when I want an experience, when I feel pulled to it, whether it's for me or somebody else, I am going to do it. And so we have to get real about that money is simply an exchange, right? It's an exchange of energy. And when we make it more than that, we abdicate our power to it. So when you make that declaration that I am reclaiming my power back from money, you're probably going to have to make that declaration 100 times a day, because we are making decisions a gazillion times. Do I buy that? Do I invest it here? Do I invest there? Right? So you need to think, what is the outcome? What are you wanting to create in your life? And does the opportunity that shows up for you, does it propel you towards that creation? And if the answer is yes, then the money is available to you. Whether it's available to you the way it should be available to you, or the way that you have to break through your own limiting beliefs. Hey, Natalie, so glad to see you. I'm just closing up here. So I hope you watch the recording because it's super powerful. It's incredibly important. And like I said, money is the last frontier of reclaiming our power. So I invite you for the rest of the week, and especially just stay present. And when you make that decision, when we make a decision to do something, immediately our circumstances, something shows up in our face and it makes you make the decision again. I remember doing that when I said, I am no longer allowing money to make my decisions. Immediately, a $5,000 opportunity presented itself to me, and I knew I had to take that opportunity because it was in the direction of creating what I wanted in my life. I knew it was an opportunity showing up so that I could create what I wanted in my life. And so my answer had to be yes. And so then I had to become the person to create the wealth so that I could have that experience. And what's so important is when you do that, you own your self-worth. You own your self-worth. You're saying, I am worth it. And I'm no longer allowing something outside of me, money, define who I am and how I get to live. Natalie, I love the butterflies on your shirt. Oh, thank you so much. I found this just a couple weeks ago. I love it too. Look at all those butterflies. It's perfect. And I was saying, I just bought a new book and it had a beautiful butterfly on it, but it's not in here to show you. Maybe, nope, it's not in here to show you. So thank you for joining me. Please tell me your declarations or share with me any questions that you have. I am starting a 5-day training on how to make more money and bust through the money barrier once and for all. 5 days starting a week from today on Monday. It's absolutely free. I just want you to register for it, and I'll put the registration link in the comments below. Please, if this video was meaningful to you and helpful to you, please hit the share button. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome Monday. I will see you soon again. Thanks, Marian. Thanks, Natalie. Have an awesome day.